Hey everyone, I'm Jeffrey Lehrman from TechRaptor. I'm here with a short guide for Nightmare, the final boss in Remnant from the Ashes. This comes after killing the Dreamer. This is essentially the second phase. This part of the fight, this clip was taken a little into the fight starting, so you can see the health bar is already a little down. When you're outside the void, which you'll see coming up shortly, essentially all the boss really does is shoot orbs at you that you can kind of walk away from or dodge out of. They do a nice damage, but they're pretty easy to dodge. It's kind of boring. This part we're seeing right now is what's called the Void. In order to deal damage to the actual boss Nightmare, you have to kill enemies in here. Every time you kill one of them, it adds a stack to a damage buff, which you can see at the bottom right corner underneath my health bar. I usually try to use a strong weapon in here, like my hunting rifle, which I use the whole game, so it kind of worked out for me. You can usually take them out 2 hits, even if you're not hitting weak points or getting crit shots, so it's pretty nice. A good thing to know about the Void is they will spawn bosses here sometimes. They're not worth dealing with. It's just kind of going to waste your time. In order to get out of the Void, you have to go through the portal, which you can see me pretty often looking at. My big tip on the Void area, because you lose health over time, is when you get in, find the portal, and then make sure you can get close to it. So if you need to get out at a bad moment, you can. A good tip to know about the Void is you can use the regen item Bloodwort, which you can see on my #1 consumable bar at the bottom left. Bloodwort will just give you a nice little health regen while you're in there. It won't completely fight it unless you have a trait that I think can improve the effectiveness of it. I don't know the name off the top of my head, but that's an idea that you could possibly work with. Otherwise, people will use Mender's Aura, which is a weapon mod that can be used to heal yourself. That's a pretty common one that people use. There's also the weapon mod you can get if you kill the Undying King. That'll revive you if you die. That's, you can use it. I don't think it's that great for it. Like ideally, you don't want to die in the Void, but if that helps you, by all means. So a major part of the Nightmare fight is using the damage buff to deal damage to the boss after you get out of the Void. Before you have the damage buff, you don't really deal anything. You do like 40 to 50 damage, and this boss has millions of health, so it would be ridiculous. A good tip to know is it's not worth wasting your ammo unless you have the damage buff. If you're playing with others, the only person that gets the damage buff when they come out of the Void is the person that comes out. However, if that person does enough damage to the boss, their chest will open up and it reveals a weak point. Then you can shoot the dude inside, and when you shoot him, with my hunting rifle, it does anywhere from 350 to 400,000 damage, so that's where you really get your damage in the boss fight. 2 quick tips I can give here are when you leave the Void, you'll spawn a little bit in front of the Nightmare, so it makes it a little dangerous, especially because his orbs now start homing. You'll notice as well, aside from that, I put a Frenzy Potion down, which gives a little aura around you so you can attack quicker. I just kind of made it so I could get my Spitfire damage in a bit more and deal just more damage essentially to open up his weak spot. And one final tip I can recommend is if you're still having trouble with the Nightmare fight, you can get buffs from different merchants on each world that will just give you stuff like extra health, extra stamina, etc.